Lily was an adventurous 8-year-old girl with freckles and wild red curls. Her room was filled with books, crafts, and cuddly toys, but none were as special as Felix, her plush bunny with long ears and a yellow bow. Felix was her most loyal companion. He was always by her side during adventures in the garden, reading under the covers, or comforting her after a bad dream. But this morning, Felix was gone. Lily searched everywhere, under the bed, in the closet, and even in the fridge, but Felix was nowhere to be found. Felix would never leave me, Lily whispered. Determined, she put on her homemade detective hat and grabbed her flashlight. This is a case for Detective Lily. Armed with her notebook, she set off to solve the mystery. She was ready to find Felix, no matter who or what had taken him. Little did she know this adventure would take her to magical places. Lily began her search in the kitchen, where Felix had last been seen. She shone her flashlight under the table and spotted something unusual, a trail of cookie crumbs leading to the back door. That's strange, Lily muttered. Felix doesn't like cookies. She sketched the trail in her notebook and followed it into the garden. There, she found her first clue. Felix's yellow bow hanging from a tree branch. Felix was here, Lily exclaimed. But how did the bow get up there? As she pondered, she heard a rustling in the bushes. Cautiously, she shone her flashlight and spotted a cheeky squirrel with a piece of yellow fabric in its mouth. Hey, that belongs to Felix, Lily called out. The squirrel chattered and darted away. Without hesitation, Lily chased after it, running through the garden and over the fence. She was determined to find Felix, no matter where the squirrel was leading her. The squirrel led Lily into the nearby park, where it climbed into an old treehouse she had never noticed before. Lily hesitated for a moment, but her curiosity won. She climbed the creaky wooden ladder and found herself in a strange hideout. The space was filled with collected treasures: marbles, candy wrappers, toy cars, and even a sock. Among the clutter, Lily spotted Felix's yellow bow neatly placed on a small table. Felix was here, she said, relieved, but there was no sign of Felix himself. Suddenly, she heard a soft chirping sound. Turning around, she saw the squirrel wearing a tiny crown made of gold paper. It held a note in its paws, dropped it in front of Lily, and scampered away. Lily picked up the note and read, "Follow the crumbs." She furrowed her brow. More crumbs? What does this mean? Curious and determined, she set off to follow the next clue. The new trail of cookie crumbs led Lily deeper into the park, to an old shed. The door was locked, but on the ground she found a small key. Lily picked it up and carefully unlocked the door. Inside, it was dark, but her flashlight illuminated something strange. On a table stood 3 jars of pudding labeled sweet, sour, and salty. Beside them lay another note. Choose the right pudding to save Felix. Lily's heart raced. Felix loves sweet things, but what if it's a trick? She inspected the jars closely and noticed tiny crumbs on the salty jar. This must be a trap, she murmured, and opened the salty jar. Inside was another key, attached to a treasure map. Lily followed the map, which led her to an old oak tree. Maybe this is the final clue, she thought, as she climbed excitedly to the marked spot. Under the oak tree, Lily found another squirrel carrying a tiny satchel. It chirped and pointed to a hole in the tree. Lily hesitated, but then bravely reached into the hole. She felt something soft and pulled out Felix. Felix, I finally found you, she cried, hugging her plush bunny tightly. The squirrel chattered happily and pulled something out of its satchel, a glowing marble. It placed the marble at Lily's feet and scurried away without making another sound. Lily picked up the marble. It was warm and shimmered in every color. Maybe it's magical, she thought. She looked at Felix and smiled. What an adventure. I'm so glad to have you back. Lily didn't know why the squirrels had taken Felix, but she decided to be thankful and maybe return to visit them. With Felix in her arms, she made her way back home. Back home, Lily placed Felix carefully on her bed and examined the glowing marble. It sparkled in every color and seemed to pulse softly. Lily felt a tingling sensation in her fingertips as she turned it over and over. Suddenly, tiny sparks of light shot out of the marble, floating around her room like fireflies. Lily gasped as the sparks formed words. Thank you, Lily. You are a true friend. Her eyes widened. This wasn't just an ordinary adventure. It was magical. She gently placed the marble back on her nightstand. Felix sat beside her, his yellow bow tied securely around his neck. Lily patted his soft head. Maybe another adventure will start tomorrow, she whispered. With that thought, she fell asleep, her plush bunny by her side, and the marble glowing faintly. Lily knew deep down that the next adventure wasn't far away. The next morning, Lily woke up to a warm light tickling her face. The marble on her nightstand was glowing brighter than ever. She picked it up, feeling the gentle tingle again. Suddenly, tiny points of light floated out of the marble, dancing around the room. Lily stared in awe as the points formed new words. "We need you, Lily. Stay brave and curious." Lily smiled. "I'll be ready when you need me." The lights disappeared, and the marble returned to its normal glow. Lily placed it carefully back on her nightstand and grabbed Felix. With her bunny in her arms, she felt ready for anything. Whether or not the marble would glow again didn't matter. She was just happy to have Felix back and a little bit of magic in her heart. For now, Lily was content, knowing that her courage and kindness had made a difference.